Hello my friends, in this video I want to show you how to start with Archform and how quick you can start planning your cases. What you're going to do whenever you're starting a new patient, you're going to put the name, first name of the patient. Let's put here John Doe. You're going to choose the upper model. So mine is here at documents, John Doe. Open the upper arch model, then the lower arch model, and create the patient. This first part is what we call the orientation of the model. All you have to do is decide how do you want the model to look whenever you click here in the lower right corner of the screen. Whenever you press front, how it should look. So for me, I like to center and I like to give a little bit of tilt. Okay, perfect. Next step is to remove all the unnecessary parts of the scan. So I'm gonna use trim and I'm gonna use the plane tool. So right here. Perfect. Now I'm going to the lower arch and I'm going to do the same. A quick tip is never to cut above the wall margin. Okay. After you're done with this part, let me see both models. I like to press the tool extrude because it makes the chance of having any errors in the skin way lower. So I'm gonna put extrude upper and notice how perfectly it closes the model. Now I'm gonna extrude lower. Easy like that. I'm ready to go to the next part. This part is really simple. All I have to do is click on the teeth so the software understands what is teeth and where is the gum. So let's say you click in the wrong place or click twice in the same tooth, you just need to click again and it will remove. Doesn't need to be perfect. On posteriors, right on the middle of the tooth, and on anteriors in the incisal. After you're done, just click on next. After that, I need to check if the segmentation that was done by the AI is correct. If there's anything I want to edit, I just need to click on the tooth, and one quick tip, I like to have my brush bigger so it makes it easier to make the corrections. Perfect. Let's see the lower arch. If there is anything we would like to. It looks good to me. After this part, we can press next. Right here, it's our second chance to check it out and confirm that everything is where it's supposed to be. If it's not, we can always go back clicking here on the previous button. Since the numbers and the tooth, it's alright, I can accept and go to the fun part. Perfect. Now, what we want to do is start moving teeth. To move a tooth, you just have to click on a tooth and put where you want the tooth to be. My process of doing a setup, it's always to start with the setup design, how I want the case to finish. So how I want the case to look like when it's finished. Notice that when I have those red marks, those are interproximal contacts, collisions. And when I have this kind of marks, is occlusal collisions. One really cool tool that we have here in Archform, it's the remove IPR. I just have to click on this X, and it will automatically expand and remove. Perfect. So what I have to do is keep moving the tooth to looks like the way I want the case to finish. Looks good to me. I have to look from all angles to make sure the case looks all right. Perfect. If you're really not sure if the tooth is aligned, you can press here on grid, and each square of those has 1 millimeter. Even though I know this tooth is worn out, I'm going to align them. Okay, got it. Go back to this. Let me see the lower arch. So in the lower arch, I also have some misalignment. Just need to click on the tooth. Something that you want to make sure is that the bellies of the tooth, they look the same. For instance, notice that here on this tooth, I don't see the labial surface of the tooth. In here I see a lot. So when I'm seeing too much, that means that I actually need some torque. You can either move your teeth using here this movement control, or you can use here the panel. Notice that this teeth needs a little bit of tipping. I removed the IPR, the collision here, by just clicking on the X button, so it's really easy for you to do it. Let's do the same process here. Notice that now this tube has a little bit more torque. This tube too. So for instance, here I'm gonna press 10 degrees, hit enter, voila. For Archform, you have so much control of your cases. Here I'm gonna use 15. Let's see. When you have a negative number instead of positive, positive is when you have collision. Negative is when you have spacing. You can select more than one tooth by pressing Shift and choosing the tooth together. As I said earlier, my treatment planning process, I like to start by doing the setup design first. What I mean by that is how I want the case to look when it's done. And we know for a fact that's not how it's gonna look on the first set of aligners. Doesn't matter uh, which kind of brand are you using, or it's just like common sense on aligner treatment today. To intrude a little bit. Perfect. Patient has some crooked teeth. Okay. Okay. Let me see if it looks good. Just a little bit more. Perfect. So in my creative process of doing my cases, what I like to do, as I said sometimes before, is do the setup design first. The second thing that I do is defining how it's going to be the occlusal contacts. And notice that if I look right now, I have some contacts here and no contact here. So what I like to do is press Shift, select the posterior, both sides, and in my practice, I like to choose from first molar to first premolar and hit here extrusion 4 times, or 0.4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I check it out, remove those interproximal contacts, and check to see how it looks like. Notice how it's not balanced. Here, I'm gonna intrude a little bit. 1, 2, and probably here I'm going to hit 1. Maybe one more. Okay, now looks better. This one. Maybe 2 here. Perfect. So my case, I'm not a big fan of contacts on the anteriors in this case, for example. And something that I do have to pay attention is how whenever I'm in the aligner, let's say the aligner 5 beyond, I have what we call a ghost tooth. So in these cases, this is a clinical tip, but whenever you have a crossbite and you're seeing a ghost tooth, you want to ask your patient to change the trays quickly. So let's say you do 14 days, that you can do 5. And you might be wondering if you're gonna lose some tracking of the treatment. It's very possible, but it's better than the patient be biting edge to edge. Okay. So after I defined how the setup is going to look like and how the occlusion is going to look like virtually, the next step is to do the IPR management. Notice that here on the last aligner, the 25, I have no IPR to be done. But whenever I go through the timeline, some collisions do appear. And I have to decide if I want to make them or not. Meaning, if there's only two rules for IPR. If there's no interproximal contacts, collisions, sorry, happening in the last aligner, you're not supposed to have any during. So what I do here, I go. My tip for you guys is go like 5, 10, 15, 20. Every 5 aligners, check if there is some collisions, for instance here, and with the right click, insert, and you go. I'm going to insert and you go, and I'm going to remove, and I'm going to see again if there is any collision, and check it. There's no collision happening now. Before I had some, but now I don't have it. Now I'm going to go to the 10th aligner and do the same. Insert. Since I have some here, I'm just going to click on the X. And sometimes it is going to raise the amount of aligners that you need. If even though I remove the IPR and it's still showing, for instance here on the 8th aligner, I like to click once more here, because those buttons are the IPR control. If I click on the green one, I create a IPR. If I click on X, it removes. But if I click on the green, adds 0.1 by 0.1. And if I click on the red one, I can remove, or if I already don't have anyone, I create some space. So this is what I'm going to do. I create this space, so if you check it now, see, still no IPR happening. Now I'm going to the 20th aligner. Do the same process. Create a new go, remove, and now I check it from here to here if there is some IPR happening. And yes, there is one. Some people, they don't mind when there is 0.1, but I do. But it's not a rule. It's just like I really do. So I prefer to have space happening than crowding happening. So I can just come here in this stage and open a space here. So see that there is no collisioning, interproximal collision happening whatsoever. In this case, I want to finish with a little bit more of overjet. So what I can do is I can create here in the last stage some IPR here. So check it. Let's say I want to do 0.2 on the anterior. And now I left my IPR to be done only on the end. So this is what's going to look like. Notice there are only negative numbers, meaning that's space. And from here, there's some IPR happening on the end. So only when I'm the aligner 21st that I have to do IPR on my patient. Now we go to the last part of the treatment. And the last part of the treatment, oh, I didn't see. See, there is happening some. So here I just open, and now I don't have no OPR. So the last part is placing the attachments. And this is really, really cool and really quick. I just click here on attachments and click on auto attachments. And I leave what I want. So I always like to check it out. And remove what I don't want. In this case, those are the attachments that I want. I don't want to leave my attachment close to the number, so I'm going to put just a little bit here. And I could change, for instance, let's say I don't want this attachment, I can just press del and add a new one. Let's say I want this smaller one here. Perfect. And now the case is done and ready to do two things. That's really cool. One is export. So if you click on export, you can download the STL files. That means the files that I can put on my printer and print the models so I can thermoform the liners. Or let's say I want to show my patient this case, I can come here on version, click on upload, upload again, and after it's done, you just need to wait a little bit, and soon you will be able to share this case with your patient. By clicking here on share, you will have two links, and these links will expire in 2 years. For instance, let's click here on minimal view for patients. So the patient will be able to see the planning of the case, and there is no details at all, like the amount of movements and everything is just for visualization purpose. And this, my friends, was Archform in under 25 minutes. I hope you guys like it, and let's change some smiles together.